Ogray, and you are not going to be disappointed. It's probably the best ETC fan video that I've seen. It's a lot of fun, so definitely check that out. Also, there has been a little bit of talk earlier today, and I have to blame this on Tim. The only reason why I'm not wearing a cowboy hat today is because he didn't bring it. I said I would wear it, but he had to bring it.
The movie was too long yesterday. It was a good movie, but, you know, I was all tired out, man. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 2 of this best of 5 series. We are going to Praxis Holdout.
I'm not 100% certain if that should give me confidence or if that's something that scares me, because Team Liquid does now something that most teams in Europe don't do. They have the choice of first pick or map choice, and they say we are giving away the first pick advantage, and instead we're bringing our opponent to a different map. So either they're desperate or they have really practiced one strategy for Praxis super hard and said, this is our safe win. If they lose here, then I think Team Liquid is going to fall apart completely.
But here's the issue. The Playing Ducks have been good on this battleground in the past. This used to be a battleground that teams would ban out against them. Now, it may have been a while since they've played on it, but...
I mean, it's not really played a whole lot right now, so if Team Liquid feels confident that they have a strategy where they can excel at and take the win, then that's all fair, but that's something they have to prove right now. Our overlay here, of course, boys, is wrong, so don't freak out. We're going to see that adjusted in just a moment. The Playing Ducks are the one that are in the lead. Team Liquid lost the first map, so just to calm everyone down here. But Medivh is already banned, and that's first really important part of what you have to do against the Ducks. But again, it comes down to what I just said. For me personally, I believe if Team Liquid now forces a map, if they would lose here, I think there's absolutely no way that the Ducks lose the series, because if you force an opponent on a map where you say, we are down, we need to win right now, we need the confidence, and you force a map pick, then you need to win it. You just need to. Like, there's no other way. And this has already been a super close one, so yeah.
Well, Team Liquid will ban out the Medivh, and Playing Ducks will answer back with a Zarya ban. The Zarya ban coming in is actually not too much of a crazy change overall. Zarya being banned out is actually great on this battleground. She's great in the 4-man hold down if you put it on the bottom side, which we still see in Europe. I know in North America we have that 2-lane and that 3-lane that we see a lot, but here in EU we occasionally see that 1-on-1 still and that 4-on-4. And Zarya and Morales can excel in those scenarios.
Vala taken. The Ducks have already identified that Team Liquid knows that they want the hero, that Chris just is so strong on him. So instead of risking that Team Liquid picks it away, they immediately take for herself. And Chromie is picked immediately. Muradin already in here for protection. Team Liquid with a lot of Muradin picks here right now. I mean, this series is really getting at me. The last game already was so close. There were so many small fights where you could maybe have made a difference with a different talent, an ability being used, a cooldown being used a little bit differently, and then the rotation decisions that were made on the map, it just really came down to the wire and to the last fight here. And now seeing Liquid against the Ducks in a scenario where Liquid forces a map, I expect fireworks. I expect them really to come up with a strategy where they say, we practiced this, we prepared this, this works, and the Ducks won't see it coming. And this is something that the Ducks right now are probably thinking about too. They're looking at this and they're saying, okay, why did Liquid all of a sudden force a map pick here? What do they have on Praxis that we need to be careful of? So they are playing this right now with Stitches, with Rhaegar. Safe choice on the side of Rhaegar for sure. And with Stitches already saying like, yeah, we can be very reactive with him to what happens here.
And Stitches is a good pick against Romy too. With her winding up for the Sand Blast, she stands still, you can get the hooks off right away. Anytime you pick her off, she's almost instantly dead or has to at least pop out the timeout. Remember, this is the old Chromie, not the new one that will be hitting you next week with the 80 Sand Blast quest. Playing Ducks, they are looking pretty good already. I like the reaction here to what Team Liquid has picked up for the 1 and 2.
Now, there's a few heroes to consider, of course, when we talk about Praxis. First of all, Genji, trying to sneak bosses. Mobility on the map overall is pretty cool. Going with him on the lineup, so that's a potential ban. Another potential hero that could be picked for Team Liquid is Falstad again, that we've seen before already. Gives you control, gives you global. Globals in general So Genji, Falset, and Haka, the three heroes that I'm really looking to right now. And Liquid is thinking along the same lines here, getting rid of Genji, making sure that he's not going to be played again by the Ducks here, which also, of course, takes some of the reset mechanics away that help the Ducks to win on map number 1.
He's just so good on this battleground. Perfect defense around the boss. If you do want to cheese it, you're able to set up pretty early, pre-10. You have the ganks over the walls because of your abilities and the mobility to jump in. You can make that 1-on-1 easily a 2-on-1 right away. It's almost like he's a pseudo-gluable with how much mobility he has on this battleground. Playing Ducks on their side, thinking about their next ban. For themselves, I actually wouldn't mind seeing them trying to get a second ETC because of how strong Stage Dive is against Chromie. Yeah. Being able to break the time trial, you're able to get the global right away. You can put them in the soul lane here. So I wouldn't mind them trying to stay away from banning out tanks so they can still have that option though.
Another point is also with ETC, this is a really good map if you're trying to complete proc rock.
Yeah.
If you control one of the globe spawn spots, then you can quite easily complete the talent here. But they banned Falset. So the heroes that we've been talking about are on the minds of both teams. I mean, it's really the comfort zone that we have for the Ducks, for Team Liquid. So Falset is banned out here. There's other heroes still that at least are in the back of my head right now. What about a potential Morales pick? She can be strong here.
With Murden too, yeah.
Exactly. We could see... didn't see the Zagara necessarily coming.
We
saw her in NA. But I was actually thinking more on the lines of Team Liquid maybe on a late pick busting out something like Sylvanas. Going a bit crazy here and trying to snowball. It's a risk, but it's something that I would not put past them trying out. But now with the Zagara, you have a very strong solo laner. It's a hero that has made a bit of a... I don't quite want to call it a resurgence. We've seen it occasionally in North America.
She's like chickenpox. She's been popping up.
We have seen her in Europe as well, played by Team Liquid, and it was on Tomb of the Spider Queen where they played it, and they actually lost, also because Zagara was ganked quite heavily at the beginning of the game. It's a bit less likely here, but you still have to be careful of the hooks of Stitches.
And I even want more ETC now. With them having Stitches already, you can play ETC in the top lane. He does pretty good against Zagara. He can help clear out that creep, which is important and pivotal when dealing with Zagara. If she's able to set up the creep tumors on the top side, she can bully it out. Zagara's pushing ability is ridiculous, and make sure that is actually compounded with the Zerg wave. You can find yourself in a spot in the mid game where you feel downright oppressive to fight against. Tassadar and Illidan is going to be the pickup, though, from the Playing Ducks, and they are hoping... It looks like to actually split the lanes here. Have 3 people on the bottom and 2 on the top.
Yeah, you can go for Illidan and Tassadar at the top lane quite easily. The one thing I have to point out, though, is that I love Stukov on this map. I really think he can have such a huge impact with good silence positioning.
For both wave clear and controlling the beacon?
Yeah, beacon control. If someone tries to push into your beacon and you just simply drop a really good lurking arm, you can get so much value out of that while the rest of your team is like trying to go in and get the damage. So it can really be a game changer. You oftentimes funnel through just very narrow pathways where silence is just fantastic. I'm a bit curious to see how exactly Zagara is going to be played, because with the setup you could make arguments for both, for Maw and for Nidus. Now usually when you talk about Braxis and we would talk about Global, you would immediately jump to Nidus Network being used, but we have seen by Team Liquid already once that they went straight into Devouring Maw. And if you play Maw and you play the silence of Stukov on the Maw... Whoa.
This is a comp.
Alright, there we go. It has to be Maw now. Now I want to see Maw. Before that pick, I would have said there's an argument for Maw to be made, but I would have said, still give me Nidus. But right now, this is basically a wombo combo setup. You're trying to go in, you're getting the Maw on 2-3 heroes, you drop the silence of Stukov on top of it, leaving, Chromie fires away from the back, but you get the Alaric combo in. So at this point, a wombo combo is becoming extremely dangerous. And that's something that they could use, unless they feel that Illidan with potential hunt play is going to put too much global pressure onto them that they have to go into an Nidus network. So I'm a little bit torn here. On the one hand, I want to see the wombo. And on the other hand, I'm thinking about Zagara with Nidus can be so annoying on this map.
Especially if they get ahead. If they get the first couple of waves or get the one wave, get pushed in, open up the forts, that's when Zagara becomes a pain, as Alarak will start to stack up heavily, Chromie comes in.
But the one thing that, like, against Maw, you have a lot of tools on the other side to clear creep. You have Tassadar that can not only detect the Nidus, but he can also detect, of course, the creep tumors. You have Rhaegar available, you have the Slam build, you have Illidan that can go into immolation and just simply slide through those 6 days to Sunday. So I'm not quite sure how much value you would really get out of Nidus play with this setup that the Ducks are running, because on this level, you don't allow for a creep carpet to be established on the map. If you look at uncoordinated play in Hero League, for example, in solo queue, it's a little bit different. You sometimes see maps that are just completely covered in creep, and then you have full control. But on a professional level, even on the amateur level, usually players are smart enough to know how important it is to clear creep. Yeah. Once you see creep on the map, your brain immediately jumps to, I have to get rid of this, or I'm going to pay for it in the end.
Well, let's go ahead and see if they'll get rid of that creep here as we're going to game number 2 on Brax's holdout. Team Liquid pulling out an odd composition. Will it work out against the Playing Ducks?
Game on! It's map number 2 and Team Liquid with Splendor on the heal, the main heal once again with Stukov, Hazobs on Zagara, Darkmok on Alarak. We're seeing Blumby on Muradin and Nurok on Li Ming.
On the right side, in the red, the Playing Ducks currently up 1-0 in this series. Sport Billy on Tassadar, Wolf Joe on Rhaegar, Nande playing Stitches, Chris on Vala, and Ethernal will be your Illidan player.
This is going to be a super intense one. Team Liquid decided to go for the map choice over first pick and first ban, which is the traditional way, at least in Europe, of how you try and get an advantage. So they definitely said, this is our map. This is a map where we feel we are going to get 100% win because you cannot fall behind with an 0-2 against the Playing Ducks here. Team Liquid, they need some momentum, and they need it now. Already, they're trying to go for a kill here, and they get it. Down goes Rhaegar. A nice silence to finish the kill off, but they also lost Zagara at the same time.
Yeah, Zagara died at the very top lane, and they were able to counterattack, so at least they came back and got a kill right away against the Rhaegar, but Team Liquid definitely needs to make sure they get a nice lead in this game.
Vala taken now down as well, so Playing Ducks losing 2 at the beginning of the match. Also, just as a highlight, every single time Team Liquid in Phase 2 has played with Zagara, it ended up with Hazobs being first blood. Just feels bad.
The stats we need. Thank you, Kaldor.
It's not the stats we deserve, maybe not the stats we need.
Also, I'm just going to listen to this broadcast and be like, maybe I shouldn't play Zagara anymore. Thanks, Kaldor. Single-handedly killing. Oh, hang on, as Illidan gets landed there. Amazing silence, a follow-up into the combo. It's actually a very clever way to set up Alarak combos.
Yeah, I really like it. And this is, as I said before, I really love Stukov on this map. There's so many ways how you can really gank on someone, how you can come out of a brush and really set the combo up with your opponent. Having a tough time to identify it early so that he can escape. And Illidan's mobility is something that is always highlighted, but at the same time, if you hit that silent at the perfect sweet spot, then you just can't do anything about it.
They're trying to do a roam gank squad here. Chromie holding that bottom lane, Zagara holding the top, and the other 3 are coming in for kills. Blummy going straight for the fight. Splinter's on the right side, working in the auto attack. Silence does go off, will hit Rhaegar. Nande backing up. Same time, Ethernal is here. He's diving forward and forcing Team Liquid to back up.
Yeah, Hook comes out, but doesn't hit anything. Also want to quickly say that I like how Hazobs double checks with Banelings the brushes all the time. He has to do that since Stitches in particular is a big threat to him. Once he gets hooked, he has a very rough time to move away. So being safe, I mean, you lose out on a bit of your wave clear, but at the same time, you keep yourself safe, and that's the most important part.
It also allows your roam squad to be able to decide how they want to come into the lane if they see somebody in that push. Another combo coming out here. It's going to push away Nande. Silence popping out too, as Vala will be popped off.
That's exactly what, like, this positioning of the silence is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I absolutely love Stukov for that reason on the map. If you have these positions, then even if the Ducks, for example, decide after a fight, hey, we can win this, and they move in, Stukov can ruin their day. And just look how Team Liquid is controlling the beacons right now. They are already at 88%. They're going to get 100-0 Zerg wave with this first one, and with Zagara, they can definitely push it. I actually really like that setup that they are using here.
On the top lane pushing in, let's see what they're going to get off of this here. They also have kill potential with the Alarak coming in with the telekinesis into the silence, always being a spot where Playing Ducks have to play safe on their wave clear. Luckily for them, they do have decent wave clear with their Tassadar dropping down the side storm. The multi-shot, although it's not the multi-shot build, still helpful with the area effect clearing out that front line, but still, Team Liquid is marching down the top lane.
But as you talk about the arrow build, this is actually something where I have to agree that arrow build is, in this case, not as good. If you are losing, if you have to defend.
Yeah.
If you are the winning team, then forcing team fights with the arrow build is fantastic. But if you lose out on the objective, you want wave clear. And that's really where the multi-shot build comes into play. So it's just, are you ahead in the game or are you behind? And right now, they're not getting as much out of the build as they want to. But if the Ducks are able to set themselves ahead, get a couple of kills and take the lead, then the arrow build shines absolutely on this map.
We'll see how that build does pay off here for the Vala as Chris and crew will lose their fort in the top. They brought all 5 people at the top lane for defense, but they lost out on a wave on the bottom in exchange and didn't get any kills, nor did they stop the entire Zerg wave as the Guardians are still here, shelling away.
At this point, Team Liquid, you have to take a breather. You are ahead by a level, you took a fort, everything is going fine. This is the moment where for me personally, when I watch this, I want someone on the side of Team Liquid in voice to say, okay guys, calm down. We are ahead, let's not throw it again. Because that's something they have been extremely good at throughout the last few weeks. As harsh as it may sound.
Is that throwing?
They had problems, massive problems to just get these wins that they would usually get, to show that discipline that they were so famous for at some point. So at this point, they just have to try and run with the advantage. The Ducks, on the other hand, will try to play patient. They're going to try and wait for level 7 and then try and get a kill. And once they get that kill, they have the chase potential to reel it in.
Liquid sets up on the bottom lane with a few members. They left Murden in the top to soak the lanes as he was the safest hero of the bunch to be able to do so as they continue to move towards that level 10. Hellbot's being grabbed on the bottom left side here for Team Liquid so they can continue to push in this bottom side and break down the turrets with Zagara and crew. We do have Illidan in the top lane defending against the push coming their way, so Team Liquid just trying to control mercenary camps. Let's get lanes pushing forward, wait for the next beacon phase, and then make our move.
Blumi, by the way, is waiting for his level 7 talent right now, which I find interesting. There we go. It's the 2 choices that he has, Ironforge Momentum and Skullcracker. So one gives you a bit more sustain since you can use your Thunderclap more often, which combos with Healing Static as a level 13 talent. And if you go up against an Illidan, sometimes against a Genji, we oftentimes see Skullcracker claimed instead for that mini stun. They are playing this really well so far, but the Ducks, once they have their heroic abilities, can always try and bring this back. This map is, for the series alone, so pivotal. If the Ducks take a 2-0 lead here, Team Liquid, I don't think they would be able to recover. So for Team Liquid, in my personal opinion, this is the map of the match.
Well, right now they're holding on to the map. They have Hasselhoff in the top lane, shelling out those Banelings once again, checking any bush that he can, trying to connect them so they get the slow that just pop in there from the Vicious Acid, while Chromie continues to solo out the bottom lane against the Tassadar. So let's see who can control these beacons. They'll be spawning relatively soon for our teams. Right now it's all about clearing the waves, trying to get lane pressure, and so far Team Liquid is actually having to defend against playing Ducks. They did a good job of setting up their lanes to push in. Yeah, the Ducks are starting to regain some of their experience that they lost earlier. But keep in mind that now that we have the objectives up again, this combo that we've seen earlier with Stukov and with Alarak is going to be pretty dangerous. Of course, we're heading now also towards the heroic ability, so that's going to be another big game changer. But the the fort at the top lane is down. Zagara is still there, and we still have to wait for the level 10 abilities. Is it going to be Nidus for Zagara, or is Team Liquid going to try and play around the Wombo combo that is based off a Devouring Maw? If they get one more lead here on the Zerg wave, I wouldn't mind seeing that Nidus network so they can soak the lane a little bit better and put that 4-man into the rotations. Here is a Stormbolt that comes out, will hit Nande, Chromie falls up with damage. Exactly, well done by Nurok. Waiting for the stun to come in and then executing the combo with Chromie. And that's what they are doing now once again. Already, Liquid in control of the beacons, but Illidan at the top lane has regained at least one. We have Hazobs moving in, and Eternal is playing the safe. He's not quite sure what exactly is happening. Hazobs also playing super safe here, dropping Banelings and Roaches to make sure that he knows if someone is waiting for a potential gank setup. So now he reclaims it, and that means that they have the beacon control again. And if you watch the minimap too, he does not walk off of his creep unless he absolutely needs to, and he's checked with Banelings too, making sure to have that movement speed always in case Illidan does dive on top of him. Speaking of diving, Balumbi is dealing with Nande here on the side, and he is being silenced for an eternity. Yeah, that silence is insane. That's exactly the value of Stukov. It's so awesome here for them. Again, 100% 2-0, the Zerg wave for Team Liquid. It's the perfect scenario. Look at their experience points right now. Just look at it. They have level 10 in a moment. So then they can, with heroic abilities, really pressure with that wave. They need to ride that momentum right now. The Ducks have shown so much resilience throughout the entire series, throughout the last few playdays. This is the moment where Team Liquid needs to get value. They went for Nidus. They're not basing it alone around the Wombo combo. They are trying to play the global game, especially since they expect Illidan to also head into potentially the hunt. And the best part too is if playing Ducks do find a moment where they get to fight Team Liquid here on the bottom side, you can have that Nidus network pop out, and Zagara will show up to help them out at any point to help peel away. The push continues. The fort breaks down. There's a few Hydras and a few Guardians left. Team Liquid is playing the battleground great. But with the playing Ducks hitting level 10, suddenly the hunt comes online. and the playing Ducks can force their own fights. In fact, they're actually holding on to that 10. Okay, they do pick the Hunt.
Yeah, and keep in mind now the Nidus network's also set up. We have Zagara moving down to the bot lane, and she set a Nidus network in place. She has one at the bot lane, one at the top lane right now, so it may be important for them. Stitches is holding on to his own ult. We could see him trying to head into Gorge, but I would expect Putrid Bile, to be honest, considering how this game has been going so far. I'm not sure if out of Gorge they get too much value, since they don't have a follow-up stun outside of Rhaegar's potential Earth Grasp totem on level 16 and the Hunt itself. So Gorge would surprise me a bit, especially since they don't have forts anymore. They can't carry someone behind the wall.
Setting up for a hook here on the bottom left side. We'll see if they're able to land that hook, and we'll keep an eye on that heroic choice if it does get picked up. It's taking away the Hellbats. Playing Ducks looking a little bit more bold now, which I think you need to do, especially when you're playing against an opponent that has taken a nice lead against you. You want to be able to break down a couple of kills during the beacon phases. We're going to have Nane go forward. The Ancestral Heal goes to come out, but it's too late.
Fantastic combo from Liquid. Fantastic play here by them. They get the kill, but the Ducks, they're still fighting back. They're trying to go for Blumby. There's the silence. Eternal tries to go for Nurok. Here comes the static being used. Nurok survives. Thank God he didn't pick Bye-Bye.
Timeout was picked, and he will live as he runs to his fort and uses that nice, solid number 2 talent in that talent tier.
Okay. Calm down, Tim.
Well, there's a new hot now on the new Chromie, by the way, which looks pretty good. Whenever you finish your quest, you get a little sand version of Chromie, and you're able to jump to it in the middle of fights. It's brilliant. It's so good.
All right. I can already see a fanboy Chromie next week. That's going to happen. For a good reason. But yeah, so for now, with the static, they could get away here. The one thing I want to really highlight is that even though we are having Team Liquid with 200% Zerg waves, just take a closer look at the experience. It's 4 kills against 1, 2 objectives have completely gone over to Team Liquid, and they're only 1 level ahead. Not even that, and they took 2 forts. That's the one thing that has to worry you a little bit when you're on the Team Liquid side. Yeah. If you're a Team Liquid fan, this is the one thing where you have to be like, yeah, they're doing well, but I feel they should be farther ahead.
Part of that is due to playing Ducks doing a really good job of making sure they have a Thermal in the right spot with that ult and clearing out while the other 4 do clear the waves. Playing Ducks definitely hanging in there. Team Liquid, with that 12.5 to almost 12 experience, are sieging away on the bottom side, but with 4 members popped in, Nurok is having to play a little bit safe here, as he's started to taste a little bit of the pressure coming his way with that ult in the last fight diving in.
This is a big problem for the Ducks now, though. The top lane is heavily pressured by a camp and by Zagara, who has the global, and Alarak can now move down, and they can fight for this one at the bottom. Alarak is actually waiting. He's waiting for potential rotation here. He's really taking his time, and he's buying a little bit more time for Zagara as well to get another wave killed so that they can move through the top lane. Here comes the Hunt. They're moving in. Eternal is really deep here. Alarak comes in too. Putrid Bile being used. He runs into the time trap. Chris already slowed down. Chromie popping her ult, and Nurok firing away. Blumby is in trouble and might fall. Indeed, he does. But the top lane is still pressuring. I would have loved Zagara to actually stay at the top lane and simply try and get some value at the keep. That didn't happen though, and now we have another 20 seconds until Muradin is back, where the Ducks can start to gain some progress on the beacons.
The Archon flank coming in there and help secure the kill. Zagara does have the top lane here, but you'd have to worry if it's a little bit too late. You were talking about the strength of maybe pushing in. She does put down a Nidus network, so she's able to escape and come back to that on the later side. Dancing as Zagara can be quite the odd dance, trying to make sure that you get value, but also make sure you never get picked. Here, Hasselhoff is doing his best to hide for the moment while his team tries to get vision on their opponents.
He's sneaking the beacon now, so he has 2 Nidus networks at the top lane, and he's using them to go in for the beacon, and Illidan had to reply to the push. But I would really have loved for him to simply stay at the top lane when the push at the bot lane happened. They could have gotten a lot of hit points down on the keep. The fight, on the other hand, continues. Illidan has the Hunt back in 2 seconds. Doesn't have it just yet. Zagara is also trying to sneak a camp. Just takes it as Illidan walks by. But down here at the bot lane, again, we're having the Hunt coming into play. Nurok dodges it with the static and has another time trap set up. Good job by him. And now Hazops is doing his thing up at the top again.
But
starting to push in and does a lot of work here.
They are fighting back right now, getting the 4-man to push away, go to the top here, and they'll start to get some of their own beacon progress and maybe take over Team Liquid here, who has 52% compared to the 46 of the Ducks. Hasselhoff is caught out. Is Eternal going to be able to chase him down? No, with Nurok coming in there and sieging away, Eternal does chase away from the fight. And that value in the top lane is actually starting to really chunk forward as it does get on the keep.
Azov's definitely does work with Zagara now. And again, keep in mind, if he didn't move back earlier, they could have had the keep already, but they might get it now because the Ducks are putting all of their eggs into the objective basket. We have 52 against 76%, but the keep is falling lower and lower in HP, and it might actually fall to Team Liquid here. It looks very much like it's going to take a lot of hits, and then Zagara, with the two Nidus networks that still exist up at the top, should have a shot at taking it down later on with a quick Roach drop and a couple of banelings.
Another combo on Nande gets low, and Ancestral Healing comes out from Wolfjo to keep him alive. Blumpy taking the pressure at the same time. Illidan finally does defend that top lane, but Zagara back in the bottom side, spreading that creep and being a nuisance. Vala will get hit by the time trap, but they take away the beacon for now. The problem, too, with that keep taking pressure is that that next Zerg wave will be pushing in and will get that keep if it's not defended perfectly by the playing Ducks. They can't afford to lose more beacon progress.
Illidan is taking the bot now. He has Hunt again, so he's playing around the global, and the Ducks are getting closer and closer to accomplishing the 100. Here we go again. Hunt comes in. Tassadar in trouble, and he is down. Tassadar eliminated. Zagara is joining the fight as she's immediately starting to focus on Anda on his ditches, but in the backline, Chris firing away with the arrows, and we see the Ducks retreat, but they have the Zerg wave, 100% against roughly 50, which still means that the Ducks need to defend the top lane, because as you said before, this wave might just be 50% strong, but that keep is low.
That it is, and the Ducks are tapping, they're healing up, and they'll come back in and start fighting. Team Liquid has put 4 members at the top here to help with this push. They would love to get this keep, maybe even a kill if it allows itself, but without Chromie being here, it might be a bit too hard. They decide to go ahead and pull away, with the Ducks bringing all 5 members up for defense, and they will defend easily. Yeah,
they can defend now at the bot lane as well. Shouldn't really be a problem. And yes, Rhaegar scouts the top right, by the way. He finds... No, he didn't find the Nidus network. What? You kidding me?
He missed it.
He walked in. I think he just checked the brush there. Oh my god, he only took the creep tumor down.
Oh.
He took the creep tumor down and expected that to be the source of the creep and didn't check further to see if there's a Nidus network. So now Zagara still has that as a tool. Later on, if need be, she can still move in and take it.
Nurok gets hit here with a hook. He will still have his timeout. The Hungry Arrow pops out. The strafe being utilized to try and burn him down. The Hunt coming in as the Thurner will dive into the fort. Can he get the kill on Chromie? She's getting lower. The time trap out, but not out in time. At the same time, though, Nande taking damage while Vala gets picked.
Zagara is here, and the silence! They go in and they get the double. 3 kills in total. Nurok goes down as Stukov can only slap Illidan into the fort itself. Cannot get him away from Chromie, but they get 3 kills. Maybe even 4 on the back of it, and now they can make a play for boss here. Zagara is already at the top. Zagara is taking the keep now, and then they can take the boss. This is, for Team Liquid, a fantastic position in the game.
That it is, getting that boss there, the keep being taken out there. A big change of events here for Team Liquid. Gonna see that boss push in eventually. Now this boss should be easy to defend here for the playing Ducks. This is where the Hungry Arrow build is actually really good at burning down that boss. And it doesn't do the highest amount of DPS, and you can manipulate where the pressure will be coming, but still, Team Liquid making big adjustments, starting to move in forward here, keeping up with the Hellbats, and now all they gotta do is get one more beacon, they might be able to take the game.
I mean, easy defense or not, that doesn't really matter too much because you get map control through it.
Yeah.
The boss can either go through the wall, you can get that, you can try and just simply get those camps, Zagara can outpush the lanes, so you find yourself in a really decent spot where the fact alone that Zagara can place creep tumors now wherever she wants in forward positions is already worth a lot to you.
And she's doing that, setting up on the right side here to have that Nidus network set up to push the keep in later on if playing Ducks defend too much on the top side. The boss is being dealt with, but the playing Ducks taking their time as they work towards a level 16. About to hit it, and with the beacons activating in the next 4 seconds, Team Liquid is primed to start channeling.
They won the beacon advantage, and thanks to the advantage that Liquid has overall already, their creep carpet on the map is very solid. They have very good vision through it. Now they hold 2 beacons. Of course, the fight for the bottom one is going to start pretty soon. But that means that Zagara can take another camp at the top, which she currently is trying to do, and always has the chance to just push the lane in even further. Hook down here at the bot lane on the other hand hits, but thanks to Chromie, there's the slowing sands. There's just so much trouble for playing Ducks to engage. Just look at these.
There's too many circles.
The circles of death, exactly. One slows, the other one silences you. You enter that area and you're just screwed. Look at that top lane. Catapults are pushing towards the core, and the Ducks will have to send Illidan back.
A third catapult coming in with the Hellbats pushing in. Here's the Thurner for the defense.
This is the moment when you have to make your play for the bottom beacon.
Yeah, I think so too. He's going for the fight, ready for Illidan to come in. Zagara's on the bottom side, wanting to come in, but with Blumby holding down the area, she's just fine, doesn't have to do so.
Yeah, they're taking another camp at the top lane to put pressure again on the top. Continuous pressure on the top lane will help them in the long run to regain the beacon control. And they are already at 38% to 0. Once again, moving in here. Nanda slowed down into oblivion. Chromie has the Storm Talents, but here comes once more Illidan. Eats the damage. Eternal always trying to get these hunt engagements, but it's not doing enough. And look at the slowing sands. It is insane.
The slowing sands holding 4 people down. Flailing aren't coming out from Splinter to keep him in that area, and the beacon is starting to be controlled by Team Liquid. They step up. Look at the top lane. Look at the top lane. Zagara's pushing in.
Yeah, she's just simply pushing for it. And they have to retreat once again. What does that mean? They have to give up the beacon. Zagara still has that one Nidus that was missed earlier by Rhaegar. And for that one, this is the most important Nidus for Team Liquid right now. It helped them to take the keep down, it helps them to give pressure and to retreat, and the Ducks never picked up on it. They just didn't see it, and now they have lost points on the core. They're down to 87. They're 2 levels behind. At the top lane, a kill against Sport Billy. Silent Storm Bolts and Alarak combo all hitting at the same time. And Team Liquid is getting another 100% here.
They are already at 76%.
Well, could be close. Illidan comes down to the bot lane. I think he's going to reach it in time.
But it's going to be a 4v4 with Zagara already posturing to push in the top. There it is. The entire beacon progress grabbed here by Team Liquid, 100% to 0. They are going to turn around and get a Chromie, it looks like, but at the same time, they lose their Rhaegar.
I mean, Chromie isn't... she's dead now. So she's just dying, but Nande gets silenced. The combo hits, telekinesis, and goodbye Stitches. So in the meantime, we have that Zerg wave barreling down the bot lane towards the keep. Playing Ducks are still on the run. Chris is running, getting chased here. Bloom is running out of mana, but I don't think even that will save him. Vala is down, popping the strafe at the end. They know this is over. Liquid is moving in, and they have that 20 now. And they go in with a massive Zerg wave. Eternal is trying what he can here, but he's just alone. Illidan that doesn't stand a chance against this silence and control play from TL.
And Team Liquid, with this unorthodox comp, control the battleground, control the fights, and silence everyone on the plane. Ducks, they'll get a victory here, 1-0 over them here. Team Liquid tying up the series 1-1.
Huge relief for Team Liquid and all TL fans out there. That was an important win. You give up first pick and you pick the map, then you need to deliver, and they did. Stukov, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Fantastic pick, great value, the circles of death every single time. You have Chromie coming in there with the slowing sands. You have Stukov silencing, and then Alarak is just like, all right, it's time to shine, boys. Goes in, drops the combo, gets the kill. And then Zagara is buying so much time. That pick really worked for them.
Yeah.
Global Nidus play was absolutely worth it. And Team Liquid with a great showing. But the series is tied. This is not over yet. That was map number 2, guys. So we are in for a treat here.
Just goes to show that teamwork. When you are ahead and you have Nidus Network, you're able to control the battleground, you can get those value pushes with that Nidus Network, and it works out for Team Liquid. We're all tied up here. We're going to get ready for game number 3. We'll be right back with the Playing Ducks and Team Liquid. And we are back. Welcome to Phase 2 of the HGC.
Fight for it.
Focus up. It gets it. Gonna land on Wubby. Engage comes out, but Breeze turns around with the 4-man mosh pit. And people just get slayed here as Fnatic walks forward and takes out 4 members of Team Liquid.
Medivh already comes through. Zarmany with a spin to win, trying to make sure that his team survives a little bit longer, but ADR already opened up another portal into the backline. That Benny moves in and drops not only Oriel, but also Sonya.
Oriel and Sonya dead here. Tassadar and Fallout. Well, no, just Tassadar standing here. Shad, the last one standing for his team. Power Slide will end his life.
The boss do it!
It's at 43%. The boss still punching the core.
I don't think he
39%,
can.
31%. They are so close. It is so close, but they stop the boss. Goodness, did they do it again?
They did it again. It is 1-for-1 so far. Pure lands the drag onto Topster, and that is now another kill for them. 4 for nothing. Dansky is just having an absolute heyday there.
The dark void awaits.